The traditional designer just designs by themselves, but a participatory designer designs with communities and with other design disciplines and brings them all together to create outcomes.
Derek here, Civic Punks, and I'm here with Jess. Jess, well, first off, tell me about yourself.
I work for the Australian Centre for Social Innovation, but I'm also passionate about helping people create purposeful careers and, civic change, I guess, through that.
Well, you've been talking to me about this idea, or not even idea, movement, we will?
Ooh, if yours is a movement, mine is movement.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think yours is a movement. I would call it a movement.
Yeah.
Feeling designers.
Feeling designers.
What is a feeling designer?
Okay, so a feeling designer is someone from a traditional design career. It might be urban design, communication design, graphic design, anything like that. And they've gone on a journey within themselves to be able to collaborate with other people and bring other people in. The difference is the traditional designer just designs by themselves, but a participatory designer designs with communities and with other design disciplines and brings them all together to create outcomes, either in our cities, in precincts, in the statues that we see, or in the services that we create. Yeah.
Well, I think something we were talking about earlier, and one of the things that you said that I really liked is this idea that one of the goals of a feeling designer is to build an ongoing relationship between whatever the focus of the design is and the community impacted by it. And that relationship is ongoing, it continues and evolves.
Yeah, that's right. So the whole aim to be a participatory designer is you've actually built relationship with those people. So the work of the designer is to be able to be relational and to build those skills and to take down all of those things that the world has put onto us that made us hard or made us work for 2 hours to deliver a brief, or has put up sort of boundaries between us and other people. And then in order to show up well for other people, we can build relationship with them in the project as a feeling designer, and then those relationships are ongoing after that. It's within the community groups, so sometimes they've never even spoken to one another, or different services who you've brought together who might not have even spoken to one another before, and then they get included in a project through great facilitation, and then those relationships continue on afterwards, either with your client or just themselves. You've simply facilitated community connection through that social infrastructure that will activate the project ongoing after that, or will help the service to be more connected than it was before.
When you were talking about sort of the development of this idea of feeling designers, you talked about two-way, I think it's like 2 ways or 2 eyes?
Yeah, two-way design.
Yeah,
so that's it's a big problem, I'll say, in Australia right now, is that this sort of way of working is seen as consultation currently. And so the consultative model is just taking input, saying thank you very much from community, sort of that extractive kind of model, and then people go away and do something with that by themselves. And they either include the consultation piece or they don't know what to do with it. So that translation piece between what community said and how it's seen in the final design hasn't been translated properly, and you don't see that in the final outcome. So the difference between a participatory process or 2-eye way of being with one another is that the feeling designer can actually facilitate that change with multidisciplinary designers or through community coming together to design that with them instead of for them, on behalf of them, not on behalf of them. So that means the 2-way is Indigenous and non-Indigenous coming together to co-create the future of Australia and the things that we see in our world around us, the systems and the services, so that they're designed for and with First Nations people or with any marginalised group that has traditionally been ostracised by that system or service.
So how did you get into this? What brought you into this world?
It was just a personal desire to change that decision-making framework around who gets to design the systems and services and places that we have around us, and a desire to see more texture, more storytelling, more depth, more feeling literally in our places and spaces here in Australia, which already exist. It's just that we needed to surface them more. So my conclusion in my head is that we need designers and systems and services and places that have that sense of feeling through that 2-way design. So how to do that? We need more designers who are capable of showing up for other people and designing in relational ways and facilitating participatory processes. So I went on that journey myself, and then I found there was a bunch of other people who I'd made my best friends, all my best friends, and I just simply thought, this is something here. And I want to elevate all of their stories, and I want to create a container for them and all of the movement that we're doing, and to help other people get into this field, let's call it, because to create that Australia vision of the two-way, we need more designers who can be designing in this way and who are open to it.
So to that end, you're doing so you have a podcast.
We have a podcast, yeah.
So what's the podcast called?
The podcast is called the Feeling Designer Podcast. We've started with the Melbourne series so far, so that's 15 participatory designers from Melbourne.
Okay.
And I'm interested in their journey, about how they got to, well, the podcast is in 3 parts. The journey of how you got into becoming a feeling designer or a participatory designer, so all the personal inflection points and the growth journey that they've been on, and then doubling down into part of their practice, so whether it's facilitation or creating relational environments or being trauma-informed, how to hold space for other people in trauma-informed environments or trauma-informed ways. And then finally asking what is their vision for Australia and what they would like to see in terms of more feelings in Australia.
Amazing. So I can just
Yeah.
find that on your podcast provider.
Yeah,
all that
anywhere
kind of-
you
anywhere.
listen to podcasts.
Good to know. I'll link to that in the video notes for sure. And if people just want to learn more and get more involved, is there anything else they can sort of plug into?
It's mainly the podcast so far, website coming soon, and then we're going to be doing some in-person gatherings to help facilitate those skills, whether it's somatic work or whether it's helping ourselves be that feeling designer. The work of a feeling designer is ongoing, basically, so we need to keep flexing those skills to be able to be the person to show up for those other people. So yeah, more in-person gatherings to chat about our practice, to share resources, and to also bring more people into being feeling designers.
So I guess as a final piece, so someone who's listening to this or watching this and it's like, oh, this is really resonating for me. I think this might be me. What advice would you give to them?
I think it is that personal growth journey that is needed. You just go to whatever calls you, and if you are seeking to become a feeling-centered or participatory designer, is to go and do that work yourself. Study First Nations history at postgrad degree, for example, or go and do that somatic body work, or go and do your co-design training, and learn how to be the person that can show up for other people and work with other people. But yeah, it's an individual journey. From what I've learned so far from my podcast is that everyone's journey has been completely different about how they've got to where they are.
I think the other key thing for me is also realizing that you're not alone. There's a
Yeah, you're
growing
not alone.
movement that's happening around here.
Yes, yes.
So podcasts, reach out to you. They can find you if they want you.
Yeah. Jessica Watson.
There you go. Jess, thank you so much.
Cool. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Derek.